Yo, 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 chat. Hello. My name's Dihan, and welcome to another Dihan VOD review stream. So, today we got 3 VOD reviews we're looking at. First one is a tank, mostly Diva. Felt like we did pretty good in our attack phase after I was told to play a little slower and more with the team for better healing. Then it all fell apart for last point. Felt that Pharah was tearing us apart, and I wasn't able to do much about it, while Ryan was fairly unchecked. I'm a terrible Ryan in a matchup, so I went Diva to try and contest the air and eat fire strikes a bit. Domina definitely coulda worked too with her range for Pharah and beam for Genji, but I didn't think of it early enough. Well, I would probably say stick to Diva. Diva's a pretty strong tank in general. That the face matrix is absolutely destroying. On a brawl map, though, it definitely seems interesting. So I guess we're gonna see Reinhardt for the first bit here.
More field research. Grand.
Okay.
Been a while. The world evolves, and so must we with it. 5.
Okay. So it looks like we're just setting up normally. Nothing too crazy here. Gonna go for fire strikes. Even if someone is up here on this window, Reinhardt will get more fire strike value attacking from below. So even though we see someone up here, chances are you're not going to even hit this person with the fire strike. You just want to get more flame strike or ult charge by hitting the people that come out the door. So, yeah, just wasted 2 fire strikes like that. And then where you're standing right here is a choke point. So that basically just means that it's a small corridor that anyone can kind of spam abilities through. So where you're standing right now, you're just able to get hit by rockets, fire strikes, just about anything. A way to avoid that and still maintain the space is to actually play behind the statue over here. Preferably on this end, but you can just hug it over here as well. This is going to protect you from just standing in a choke, wasting a bunch of that shield health that you definitely are going to... you don't need if you are standing behind a statue. And yeah, you're just wasting a ton of resources that you don't need to if you just stand in a better position. Another reason, okay, we're going for a pin here. Another reason I don't necessarily like this spot, it does draw your team up a little bit more, and that leaves them more vulnerable to a person like the Pharah. If you stand over here, your team is going to be able to play around these areas that are going to be out of the Pharah's point of view, which will make them be able to heal you more efficiently, but also keep them safe. But yeah, so we're going for a pin here. Good pin. Yeah, and then just a bit of an overextension like that. You basically pin from here out into definitely a place where your team can't really see you or support you. Pinned away from your Moira, and then yeah, you just got surrounded by the enemy because you had no cover, no sense of where to rotate to next. So just kind of got lost on the pin. So but yeah, overall, this not really a great idea. It just kind of forces you to kind of go for a super aggressive pin if you can do anything like that. If you want more tips on places to stand on King's Row on YouTube, I do have a King's Row video on tank positioning in general for it. It's a really old video. It's probably like 4 years old at this point, but I feel like it has some good fundamentals. And on King's Row, I want to say I have a high win rate, probably closer to like 60 or 70%. So I feel like it works, so hopefully it can work for you too. Okay, so we're sticking with the Reinhardt. Okay. Nice, we got the jump. Cool. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely... Okay. Yeah, there you just needed to drop the shield and walk yourself into the door if you were going to dodge the pin. Probably didn't even need to pin the Zen either. Probably could have just walked at him and swung your hammer. But, you know, it happens. Now it looks like we're just going to group up. Probably hold this window area. It's probably the best for you. We're getting some Fire Strike charge now. This is good. Just try to be more cautious and actually take time with those Fire Strikes. And then it looks like, yeah, on Reinhardt, you just get a little bit scared, I guess, and so you just go for a pin trying to make something happen. They are running a Zen, so whenever you get discorded, you have to hide your line of sight from the Zen until you get something else. Now we're going to go Diva and be a little bit better. At least on third point, there's going to be more high ground for us. But yeah, honestly, it just feels like... just had tough times being grouped. I mean, even this looks like a tough time for us to be grouped. Your team's not even with you, and you're kind of just, like, going in by yourself. So, really, really scary. And it looks like we get demacked. And you had some time to touch. You didn't have to touch immediately at that point. You could have waited a little bit longer. It just looks like we're playing a little impatient. Okay, the good news is they already won that fight, and they just popped 3 ultimates. So at least you're going to come back to this fight with a couple ultimates, so you'll hopefully be able to retake. So that's good for us. Yeah, I think you're using these missiles a little early, too. You're using them while you're, like, flying and an enemy's not even in sight. You should really use it once you actually feel like you're going to be close to the enemy and be able to actually, you know, help them with those. There you go. Okay, there's a Zen ult happening, so you need to just find another target to shoot at, rather than be fighting the Reinhardt. And even here, like, why are we shooting a Reinhardt when there's a Zen pelting us in the back with orbs? The Zen is going to be the target that we should be aiming at, not the Reinhardt. The thing about Diva into Reinhardt is Diva is so much more mobile than Reinhardt that you're actually able to basically pressurize his backline and do kind of whatever you want to them. And he can't really do anything other than pin at you if he wants to rotate to you. So I would say try to take your eyes off of the Reinhardt and more just onto the back line because of how mobile you are as Diva. Another cool thing is, like, Reinhardt, because he doesn't have any kind of mobility, if anyone is getting chased by Reinhardt, all they have to do is turn around and walk, and Reinhardt will be unable to catch them because he does not have any kind of speed boost while he's moving. And everyone in Overwatch has the same walking speed except for Genji. I think Genji's the only Overwatch hero that has a slightly faster walking speed. Lucio, of course, too, but that's because he has a speed boost aura.
Your work is a hypothesis.
Okay.
Ready. Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Open. Defend objective A.
I like that we're catching the fire strikes. Very good to keep the alt charge of the Reinhardt down. So once the Bastion is done with his turret form, he should be the first thing we go and dive. Because he's close enough, and they don't really have anything to really help him out. Reinhardt can't do anything about it. If he chooses to overextend past the choke, his healers can't heal him. Hopefully the 4 of your guys will be able to take down a Reinhardt that is swinging his hammer and not shielding. Instead, we're kind of just pelting a bunch of stuff into the shield. Not a bad strategy. It can work, especially where the Reinhardt's standing. He is wasting a lot of his resources, just like you were when you were playing Reinhardt in this position. But yeah, it's just a little slow, and you will never be able to shred a Reinhardt, especially with this armor. Your bullets will not be able to do enough damage to really shred the Reinhardt. We need to look for other targets. Bastion is low, too. We could use our movement to fly right on past, get to a high ground over here, start pressuring, forcing you being up here, or being anywhere around behind them, forces this Reinhardt to basically turn around and have to deal with you. So, it's not really the best strategy to just fight a Ryan one-on-one like this. Okay, it ends up working out. Nice. Yeah, this is probably, if I had to guess, this is probably a plat lobby. I don't think a rank was given, but if I had to guess, this is probably plat. And that's mainly because of us focusing the tank so much and not really the enemies. I think if we were focusing things other than the tank, I think we could be probably in a higher rank. Okay, this is cool. Just get some ult charge, get back in mech. Yep. Yeah, I mean, this Zenyatta's really isolated. We could just go for the Zenyatta here. Only thing I might have done, I don't know if you were on mic, but you could have calmed that. Okay. Cool. Yeah, this all looks pretty good. Nice. You see though that you like wasted these missiles? Look at these missiles that you're just wasting. I guess you shot them while he was low, so I guess you planned to kill him there. This is also a situation where you don't actually have to back up and give space to the Reinhardt. You have people here. You can stand your ground. You're winning this fight. Rather than giving this Reinhardt space, really stand here and make him kind of have to fight for it. Make him have to, you know, swing into you, push back. If he keeps swinging, he's going to get shot by your team, and so there's a chance he might just die. You backing up is letting him just walk forward and basically face no repercussions of that. So you're kind of subtly doing it, so you might not even realize that you're giving him space, but you are giving him space when you have the advantage here. You could technically just stand your ground. If Mercy gets too close, fly to her, kill her. Okay. Only thing I would say is like try to get in mech faster. If Reinhardt hit a nasty shatter there and ended up killing all of you guys, that would have sucked because your mech form got canceled. But I guess it would have to be a nasty five-man shatter. And then here, you should try your best to try and take this high ground here. This allows you to not only stop the DPS from basically playing up on this high ground here, but if the Reinhardt decides he wants to hold this corner, you're able to pressure the Reinhardt from behind, pressure any backline that are trying to support him. Really, here on D.Va is going to be a really strong spot for you to just kind of dictate this this fight up until, you know, this corner or so. So if you can, yeah, definitely get up there. And it looks like we're just really focused on the Reinhardt rather than up on the high ground. Still focused on the Rein. Even though this Pharah is really low, and we can definitely take over this high ground and just stop them from playing here. It gives your Mercy a nice place to play too, if it's safe enough. Okay. Yeah, just a little late for you to get up there. That's the only thing I would say. Good news is they're popping all of their ults. So at least we are going to come back with our ultimates and be able to continue the push. But it looks like we're just not taking advantage of high ground and the whole fact that Reinhardt can't get to high ground. And that's a huge weakness for him. Damn. Yeah, even there, like, why are we... Do you see that you're, like, using these missiles when you are so far away? Like, why are we shooting missiles from this far away? It's very inaccurate that it's going to hit. We should try to use these once we're actually probably... Here is probably when I would start using them. Like, if... He dashed, so obviously he got away. But if they are close enough to you, you should be using it once you're close, not while you're like flying to them, because you're gonna be missing a lot, and those are like your biggest bursts as D.Va. Yeah, we can group up. Good fire strike eats. Yeah. What I don't like is we know they are going to come back, right? We can hold tab to see them come back. You don't have to look back at them. Your big thing you need to be doing is just trying to make sure this Sojourn stays alive. Because it looks like you're busy focusing on someone that's coming from spawn, which doesn't really matter at this point. And not focusing on someone that could potentially die since they're trying to go for a pick or something. So you kind of turn back around, and she dies to rockets because you're not trying to look at a opportunity to give her a defense matrix. Because, again, you're looking back to see if you're grouped up with your team. Not bad to check if you're grouped up, but spawn is so close, you really just have to look at the respawn timer to know if Dog Boy's back or not. Nice. We don't need any abilities. You know a Genji killed Dog Boy. There's no way. Okay. Yep, you can go up there. You can go up there. You should not be worrying about the Genji until you have a full team dead. So once you actually killed the full team, you could have gone back for the Genji. Now you're basically, the team's back. So you need to basically be the tank for them again and play up here and just hope that, you know, Genji's not going to do anything crazy to your backline. Because you can't be in this wishy-washy state of maybe I go back, maybe I go forward, and your team is just like splitting up, as we see. But we should go up to that high ground, because we shouldn't just let a Pharah sit up there. That's actually as far as like favorite place Probably on this map, to be honest. Yeah, and this is good. You probably didn't need a drop. There really was no reason for you to drop. You're just getting swung on for no reason. Really swung on for no reason. Yeah, like, up here is probably where you should be, like, on third point for, like, I don't know, 50 to 60% of the time. Damn. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan of how long you stay out of mech. Nice. Alright, now we can push the spawn doors. Push the spawn doors. Yep. Okay. Okay. Little risky, but you know, it works. And then yeah, with a little bit better play, we probably would have a little bit more time, and we wouldn't get absolutely rolled on defense. Because it looks like, yeah, on this it's just they have a lot more time, so it's gonna be a lot harder for you. So we'll see how this goes.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Try and stop me now.
Same deal. If he's going to be playing this far back and they don't have a bastion up here, it's okay for you to just walk on through. What this is going to do is, if you're in a low enough lobby, the Reinhardt will literally just back up to here, because he won't know what to do, and he'll back up to here. In stronger lobbies, he'll probably meet you on this corner here, and that's okay too, because the main reason we're walking in is so that we can get up to this Mercy and this Pharah, really pressure them away, because if you're playing up on this high ground, Reinhardt can't really do anything about that. His options, if you end up on that high ground, are push your team, which is a bunch of mobile characters, so he can't chase any of them. Try to meet you over here, which is away from his team, or do exactly what I said before and back up to here, because he has really no other option. Maybe he'll meet you up on this side of it, but he really doesn't have much options. So, you're basically free to fly up here and do whatever you want. Yep. So we kind of did the walk-in meet. You kind of were a little slow with it, so he actually got all the way around and then got a pin on you. Remember, our mission wasn't really to fight the Reinhardt. It is to mess with this Pharah, keep her pressured as much as possible so that she's not spamming into our team, basically. Really good pressure on it. Only thing we missed is could have maybe dash and melee'd, and that would have been high enough burst to actually kill him there. But not a bad idea. I just think, like I said, could have just walked in a lot easier, and then... Oh, another pin. Catch. Yeah, it looks like when you're going into Reinhardt, and this might be maps in general, but I feel like if you're going into Reinhardt, it looks like you're not trying to play high ground around him, and you're not thinking about Reinhardt's weaknesses. that can make your strengths better. So obviously when you're playing a hero, you want to lean into the strengths that your hero has. Strengths that D.Va has is she has super high mobility, and you know, she's able to fly to high ground, get to dives, and burst things down. And of course, Defense Matrix, a huge amount of abilities. And people like Reinhardt, they're really good at holding a space, but they can't really move around too much. So you just need to do whatever you can to really get around those areas. And it just looks like you're very gung-ho about, you know, playing that low ground and playing into the tank. And D.Va's just not the type of tank to really play into the other tank. She does really well flying around and pressuring the entire rest of the team. And then I'm assuming they just have 4 minutes, so they probably just hard roll this. You're probably, as Domina, going to play this small choke. Domina doesn't really have any defenses. I assume Reinhardt is going to pin you on some rotation, whether you're backing through this way, or he's going to pin you while you're backing through this way. But he's probably going to pin you or something, or Widow's going to get an easy pick, because, again, you're playing up, which means your team's playing up. Because of where you're going to be standing, you're going to get low, they're going to freak out, Widow's going to headshot him. Or Pharah hits him with a couple easy picks because, you know, it's Pharah. And, again, your team's playing up in danger. So... yeah, we're just slowly backing up to point, just giving them a ton of space, because they got a pick on our Ashe. Good kill on the Pharah, but it's not enough. And we just don't have any kind of cover where we're playing. Hugging the statue would have been probably a better course of action, I would say. But yeah. In general, things that I think we need to work on, I think you are way too tank-focused. It might have gotten you this far, but you need to think about pressuring the enemy team and being able to, especially if you're playing someone like D.Va, playing around the enemy tank with that high mobility, with that access to high ground. And if you're taking a lot less damage from the tank, that's a lot less resource your supports have to put into you, and they can put a lot more resource into other things. So, overall, just, you know, don't be fighting the tank so much, especially if you know that you're going to lose the brawl matchup. Reinhardt's pretty good at the brawl matchup, so most of the time, you just don't want to be doing what you're doing on D.Va there. I think that's the big thing. Other stuff is like general positioning. It just, you know, King's Row, there's certain positions that you're going to be better for, especially if you're playing dive heroes like D.Va. So really just think about those positions that are going to help you out with the fight. A lot of it is going to be the high ground, especially if you're playing into a Reinhardt, so that, again, he's not just able to swing on you so much. Also, a lot of it, from high ground, you can pressure him super easily and force him off of these corners that he wants to hold so well. And then being out of mech, I think you sometimes are out of mech for almost too long. I feel like in later lobbies, that is going to be easy for them to get a pick on you, and then that's going to cause you to also kind of, you know, lose and give up a free pick. So, but yeah, I hope that stuff helps, and as always, happy climbing. Next one, we're looking at Cupcake, an Ana player, and they want to know how they did, so we'll give them a look. Now, as you know, chat, I am a big Ana lover, and lucky for us, this is also on King's Row, and it is actually 6v6. And that's not the right one. We're looking at Cupcake. Not to be confused with Ana, chat. There is a Genji named Ana.
Do you still perform, La Croix? I
And what's also cool is we do have Pickle Woman on our team. So if you are a big avid pickle enjoyer, have we got the woman for you? A lot of Anas. Yeah, there's 3 of them, I guess. Okay. So first thing I will say is the sensitivity seems maybe a little too high. Another thing is you're kind of doing this like flicky motion, like you're playing air hockey, or like you are, I don't know, doing some kind of stroke, you know? Rather than just placing your cursor, I'm seeing, look at this flicky motion, chat. Shoot, and then we're like looking around, and then we're flicking back, and then we're flicking back, and then like, it's not really consistent. You just want to like keep your thing aimed. Yes, there is kick on Ana's gun, but with the kick on Ana's gun, it will always go back to the same spot. So the kick is really there just to give you like a, ooh, it's a sniper rifle kind of feel. But it really goes back to the same place you were aiming, so you don't really have to think about it all too much in terms of aiming. So if I were you, I would have just been a little bit slower and maybe placing. Maybe the sensitivity is too high, but I think a lot of it was just panic from the sniping shots. And then we're going to see it again. Yeah. Like, I just don't understand what's up with us flicking like we're trying to go for some hard quickscope shot. Because it really is just more of like a placing mechanism when you're going to play on it like this. And, you know, we got picked for it because we were kind of just standing still like that. Like a turret, so... Yeah, even this. What is this? Please stop this. Please stop this. You should not be doing any kind of flicking motions when you're playing someone like Ana. Like it is really keep your mouse steady and just keep yourself calm, because I don't know what this is. Look at this. He's standing still and we're doing this. And I'm looking down and I'm shooting again. And then I'm looking down and then I'm shooting again. Boom. Like, he's standing still, chat. You don't need to try all that hard. It really is a simple tool, but we're just flicking. Alright, that was a good antsy. Nice. Alright, and now this looks a little less flicky, so at least that's good. Looks a little more calm. Nice. Okay. So far, so good. I'm not the biggest fan on your positioning in this entire fight, but it's working, so I'm not really gonna say anything about it. I will just say I'm not the biggest fan because it leaves you open to dive, and because you're playing around so many people, you're also open to a lot of spam that you're catching. It's a good nano. I like the nano. Only thing I'll say there is it looks like you nanoed him when he already jumped in, and so his jump's on cooldown, and the enemy team already backed up. Yeah, you see how he jumped in and he put the shield down already? You're doing it now. The enemy team has already backed up. He has already backed up. That engage is over. So you should have done it probably either while you saw him jumping in the air. You should have nanoed him. Or you should have waited another 5 seconds until he was ready to jump again. And then give him the nano there. Especially because then he doesn't have the shield. So he needs more things to mitigate damage. But this, unfortunately, just kind of like the enemy team's too far away, so you can't really do anything with this. It's kind of just like, ooh, he's nano, get scared, but that's about it. This is just temporary space we're making. Yeah, by the time that he jumps in, his nano's gonna be over. And there he is jumping in, no nano, about to die. I like the position back here. This is good. Could have been probably a little bit more cautious with this sleep. Yeah, again, flicking with the sleep really is just kind of a look over in place kind of thing and hope it hits. And then, yeah, just really big signal. Nothing much you can do. Only thing is, like, maybe we could have hit our teams up in the air. If you hit the teams up in the air with a nade, maybe you get the Winston alive here. But that's kind of it. That's all you could have hoped for. Big Riptire, though, chat. Still in it. Just kidding, because we lost our Junkrat immediately after that. Oh. Good heals on the Zen to keep him out. If you can, try to sleep the Risa there, but pretty good. Alright. Back in. Good nano. Primal monkey, that's good. Yeah, you don't need nano here. You guys got this point, so I wouldn't use nano if I were you. Just hold on to it. Chat, is this a win? It's feeling very much like a win. Good nano. That's okay. Alright, cool. Very good attack. I don't think it's a stomp, chat. Alright, just so you know. Where did that go? Oh, maybe it is a good hit. Let's see it again. Let's see it again. Look at this.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Alright, well that would have been good if it wasn't defense matrixed. Actually a pretty good on a nade spot, so kudos to you. Well done. Actually kind of proud of that. Just unfortunate it got defense matrix. And then we're going to rotate back here to the low ground. Just a little interested. I guess maybe you're worried that there's a Widow that could have been peeking up here, because I feel like a better spot for you, since you already were on the high ground, is to just rotate over here for high ground, but if you're going to play out the low ground, that's okay too. Nice, good shots. I like the quick scopes too. Those are very good. A very nice mechanic. A reason why it's good for Ana to quick scope on her is it keeps her movement, because when she's scoped in, she moves slower. And it also makes her projectiles hit scan. So quick scoping is actually something that is very useful for Ana to learn. Ooh, unlucky. Nice, good nano. Good sleep. Good kill. Yeah, very good. Really nice. Yeah, she's immune. Because she's playing far enough back in the spawn door to not be able to get shot. Lucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, my latest creation. Into the iris. Experience tranquility.
Yeah, I mean, I just let that happen. If they're gonna pop every ultimate, we'll just let them. That's really good. Should make the recontest a lot easier. You, Zen, and is that Ash? You, Zen, and Ash just need to get yourselves out. Sojourn. You, Sojourn, and Zen just need to keep yourselves out. Stay alive. Yeah, unlucky. That was a really bad nade. Could have been better. Especially when your Winston just jumped in. Would have been better to see the Winston and the enemies get hit by the nade. Good nano. Good sleep. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, easy. Very good, very good, very good, very nice. I'd say in general, it looks like you need to just like the main things I'm seeing that we probably need to work on is just like we're sometimes flicking too much, I'd say. Especially on shots that could be probably a little bit easier because people are like standing still. Nice. Looks a lot less flicky now. I mean, even there, a lot less. We have a couple mistimed nanos. We're not necessarily aware of what our teammates' abilities are. So sometimes we'll nano a Winston when he doesn't have jump, and so he'll basically be unable to chase anyone down. This is really bad pathing, I think. Okay, good sleeve. Nice. Yeah, I mean, the pathing here kind of looked rough, right? I don't know why we're kind of standing here to... As soon as she dies here, you're kind of deciding to go for a Hail Mary on a sleep dart. You probably should have been standing yourself over to, like, just one of these edges, waiting for people to push in, and then being able to heal them while they're pushing in, being able to peek out and go for something, but be back tucked away again. You're kind of just sitting out here in the open a bunch, and it's kind of crazy that you don't die. You actually end up with 1 health here, and that might be just because the Zen threw a Harmony Orb on you. That we didn't die to fire there before we threw a nade down. But yeah, you were just out in the open there. But yeah, nano timings seems like something we could work on. Bigger nades. There's some nades that you just kind of like through, or even sleep darts where you just like Hail Mary shoot. And then slight pathing issues, I'd say. It worked in this game, but I feel like there's a lot of work on us just taking a bunch of unexpected damage from like just because we're not wary or thinking about where we're standing for constant spam. Alright, and it looks like I skipped over one. So last one we're looking at is Julian. Comp open queue support, playing gold 3 to plat 5 as Mercy / Moira. The rank is Diamond 5 and 5v5, and this is the placements. Sending this right after having a very sweaty game. Enemy team knew how to aim. Ours was meh. I hold staff. I sucked. I had to Glock. Very tired and head hurts. Thank you for the time to review. So, let's see here. Ooh, Watchpoint Gibraltar. Definitely a very big Mercy map. So we'll see how Mercy does here.
Helping those in need is its own reward. Checking in.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Barrier initialized.
Stop the payload.
Get them off the payload. Barrier is...
I'm gonna be honest. This isn't the worst positioning I'm seeing, but I would probably say if you're gonna be just pocketing the soldier and he's not really gonna be moving much, you almost should just be crouched right here just in case there's a widow. Because if you're just walking around like this, at some point a widow might show up here and just hit you with a headshot because of how much you're dancing around. I mean, yeah, beacon and other things like that. I mean, she could show up there, she could show up here, but you're just kind of dancing around here. At least, you know, none of that can hit you. So they do have a widow.
I'll make sure that doesn't stop.
We're aware of the Genji. Nice. You could probably res that. Yep. Nice.
On my watch.
At least soldier traded with a support. That's good. Yeah, here's I just pop alt. There's really okay, never mind. We ended up getting a pick. I was gonna say there's really no reason not to pop Glock and there's just like hold it down. You are the first person with an ultimate. So my logic in popping alt here is you would be able to damage boost everyone to be able to get their ults faster. You'd be able to carry this fight since you're the only one with an ultimate. And so your team would end up with ultimates, and then we'd get you charging up for your next ultimate so that we're not sitting here with 6 ultimates just all kind of like waiting to go. So I kind of, just to keep the alt tempo and the alt economy going, I would probably have popped alt here just to like keep the ball rolling. Very bold to... Ew, yeah. Big res. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I also don't really know what we're kind of... Okay, so we're using it as a defensive ult a little bit. I was gonna say, I really don't understand why we're holding on to it for, because Mercy's ult, while it can be used defensively for heals to, like, your general group of people, I mean, it only increases your healing up from, was it 50 to 60 healing per second or something like that. And then obviously chains, but it is more effective for a damage boost, because while the increase of heals is like an 18% boost, her damage boost is like 30% increase to your whole team. So usually Mercy ultimate is typically, I would say, better in the neutral, just to give your team an advantage, because they're basically a Risa bongoed at that point. Shout out to the veterans who know what a Risa bongo is. But your whole team basically just does a lot more damage, and is able to pressure out the enemy and burn their resources more. While you're doing it for defense, that can work, but there are better support ultimates if you are going to just use Valkyrie for the chain heals that it gives you. So just keep that in mind. But I would tend to use your Valkyrie more in a neutral state and give your team a slight advantage. still during a like mid fight, but try to get it in early because it does last 15 seconds. So it is just a really good way of just getting your team a really good slight edge on the fight while everyone's kind of still alive and no other ultimates are used. Because in terms of ultimates, it really is probably the worst. Maybe not the worst ultimate in the game, but it's probably the worst support ultimate in the game, I would say. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. It says that you saved the Sigma there. He probably honestly got saved because the Juno used her beam. Which does, by the way, the beam does both of what your ability does. So, again, like, I feel like your ability is just better used in a neutral fight. Rather than something like a beam, which just kind of gives your team just a whole ass huge boost. Oh. Yeah, we resurrect. You probably, if you had the ability to, should have resurrected Emre there, because Emre had ult, so Emre might have been able to turn that. Oh my god, he's just getting his head blown off.
Don't let that payload move any farther.
Monstering you. Okay, system optimized. Being attacked. Watch yourself. Oh, you're on.
Just something else I want to point out. You're at 86% towards your ult. If you used it earlier when I said to use it, to keep ult tempo, you would still have, you would have your ultimate now. That might be able to provide team chain heals so your Sigma didn't get picked off. Your team entirely is low now, and as you can see, like, your Juno is still kind of weak. So providing using your ult earlier just would have been able to get you your ult now, potentially, because you did definitely hold it on for like 20 seconds or so, even 30 seconds. So you maybe have been able to even turn the, because the only ult they have is Widow, so you would have been able to keep the neutral for this fight and maybe even turned it in your favor here too. But we kind of held on to ultimate and use both of our support ults in the at the same time, which is a huge no-no. Now we're popping it. There's only one dude here, which obviously it is a lot better when you have a full team to use it. So yes, we do it to keep ourselves alive. I would be okay even if you went to go pressure the Widow there. Because it is kind of just you and you don't have a full team. But it looks like you are kind of just doing it to stall out the point, which is also a good idea, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that was just ultimate timing, honestly. Because the play looked good, positioning looked good. It was really just when to use Valk. I like that we're healing for the poke. Small little lemon zest on our teammates, very good. Something I didn't know on Moira chat. If you throw a damage orb, it actually charges her heals. Good attempt at the orb to heal the Winston. Only thing you probably could have done better with that is because you knew Winston was kind of in this area here, you could have thrown it at this wall, and then it bounce off here, and then it comes back to you guys. Since he is kind of rotating back to you guys, would have just kept the orb with him longer, but I don't know if he was gonna be able to get out with just that orb, you know? Oh, that's an unfortunate orb. Nice. 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 I'm seeing a lot of heal orbs out. Even this heal orb, like, maybe you did it to heal yourself, but you're kind of already at full health, right? So this is literally 300 healing that is just going nowhere. It would be much better if you were using it as 200 healing to actually go and, like, finish some kills. So I honestly would like to see more damage orbs. I think healing orbs are good, especially in 6v6 when you have 2 tanks. But unless you have 2 tanks that are able to soak those up, I think you should be throwing more damage orbs.
I will make use of this. A taste of poison.
Oh, don't get her head blown off. Yeah, I mean, this is literally just a wasted fade. Why are we fading here? No one can see us anyways. Us fading there is why we can't rotate back to our team. And if they knew you were up here, you needed to go get this mega and just try to walk your way out, because there's really nothing else that's gonna save you there. At least Panda Boy gave it his all, you know? Shout out to my boy Panda Boy 24. He's a real one. Really looking out for his Moira here. Yeah, I mean, even here, you have like a full... Okay, good burst on the Winston. Very, very good. Yeah. Another thing I like to point out, because you can't use your orb in Coalescence, it is always better to, like, if you can, throw an orb right before you use Coalescence. To also help with this, your orb either heals 50 a second or deals 50 a second. And your Coalescence either deals 70 a second or heals 140 a second. So when you throw an orb with that, you get to add the 50 a second onto the 140 a second, so you're healing for 190 a second. Or you can, you know, add the 50 with the 70, and so you're doing 120 damage a second if you're throwing your orb, you know, where you're coalescing as well. So just try to make sure that you are throwing your orb. Usually, I would probably throw a damage orb just to get your numbers closer to 120 a second and 140. But just try to throw your stuff to make it so that it's doing that much damage. Because, again, you can't throw an orb while you are, you know... You can't throw an orb while you're doing the coalescence, so you might as well throw it right before you use it. Oh, okay. Unlucky. Yeah, again, like here, you are low on resources, so a damage orb towards the enemy might have charged your resources for you to be able to heal your team more. Just something to consider. We're very heavy on heal orbs, though. That's a good heal orb on the Reaper, for sure. That helped them out. Looks like we also have the reverse orb perk but I haven't seen us really reverse the orb, especially if we're using it to heal our teammates. I feel like that's something we should be for sure reversing if we're trying to keep it around our teammates as much as possible. Like on enemies, it's probably not as important, but I feel like on teammates that are going to be standing in one spot anyway, so you might as well reverse that orb when you can.
Ready for battle.
Right behind you. Angel at your shoulder.
Mercy, are you ready to dance and groove?
I never stop. No unnecessary risks.
You probably start damage boosting the Freya here.
Hard to defeat.
Never mind, you start damage boosting the Emre here. At least that's what I would think.
5, 4,
Looks like you don't even care about the Emre.
1. Attackers incoming. Escort the payloads.
I'm here to support. Supplying damage increase. Get them off me.
Damage boosting Winston's not bad here either. Oh.
Monstering you.
Your heals are also Mercio, by the way. Not really the best team comp. But... and that's probably why we're not damage boosting as much. And why we're focused mainly on healing. I think you probably... yeah, that was a really cheeky res for you. You probably should not be playing Mercio.
Right by you.
Okay. Now we have a Kiriko.
Supplying damage increase.
She's probably going to be doing primarily the damage. So you're probably are still on heal bot duty. Now you have an Ana, so Ana can probably be more of the healer, and you can be more of a damage booster in this tank comp or team comp. So if I were you, I'd be focused more on the damage boosting, but probably in mainly the Emre. Yeah, that was... you were kind of just twerking right in front of a Sigma. Ooh. Okay. I think I'd like to see a little bit more damage boosting on your damage dealers. Orisa's not really going to be someone that just shreds the enemy team, so I don't think she needs the damage boost. And this is another neutral fight. Okay, good. I was gonna say this is another neutral fight, so we should probably pop Valkyrie just to keep the pressure on. Yep. Nice. Okay. Okay, this is too much. Your whole team needs you. A little bit too much Glock. I think on the BAP was good. I think when we pulled it out on the Juno and the Orisa, I think it was a little too much. Looks like we still hold it though. Still push it. We definitely seem more comfortable on Mercy, chat, than the Moira.
Aren't you glad you have me? My prognosis is excellent. I'm here to support. Self-medicating, enhancing your strength.
Heroes never die.
Nice.
I could have examined you from
Yeah, good Glock. I like that.
Score 3-3. Switching sides.
And again, Mercy Ultimate's really good at keeping the pressure on.
Initiating.
It's not like a crazy ultimate that everyone like runs and hides from, but it does give your team a slight advantage for it. So, I think just to keep ult tempo going, I think you do need to kind of just like be using it again just to drive ultimates for your team up with damage boost, and also like give your team like that edge, especially if no one else has any ultimates and you have a full team.
what I'd hoped for.
Lethal force authorized.
Always figured I'd end up back here. Just not like this.
Enhancing your strength.
Further investigation.
Right by you.
This won't take long.
5, 4, 3,
Still boosting you.
1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
You'll be fine now.
Yeah, this is good too. A lot better than what you were doing on the first defense with dancing around. Because yeah, this is doing, you know, just enough work, just kind of sitting over on the stairs over here. Rotate around, cool. You can res this.
Get out.
Okay, something I don't like. Panda Boy 24 drops here.
Amplifying your power.
Obviously, you want to do your best to support him. Maybe you're scared from what's over here, but no one's pressuring you yet, so I don't know why exactly you're flying out. You can technically support this fight while also supporting, you know, Panda Boy and just, like, tapping in every once in a while, right? You kind of ditch your team here to go help this dude. But if your team won this fight, they'd be able to drop back down here, and then you'd be able to res Panda Boy. So, you kind of just split yourself when, and you have to like rotate back through here and be out of the fight a little bit, when you could have probably just been up here helping this out for some time and then coming back here. Oh yeah, we're munching, chat.
Enemy in my sight.
That's a window. Yeah, here just looks like a bunch of grouping up that's needed.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Ooh. I wonder how strong damage boosting the Orisa there would have made her. Big Sigma 9 though. Big Sigma 9 coming in clutch. Because I don't know if we were going to hold that chat.
5. Switching sides.
Was not looking strong.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
I am here to support.
Oh, perfect. We got Bastion we can damage boost. Same deal, though. You probably damage boost the Freya here.
I know this place.
Until Bastion gets in position to go into turret form.
Whatever awaits us, I am prepared.
Yeah, now we're definitely damage boosting the Freya here. Because now you have a Reaper.
Damage increase.
And we're damage boosting the tanks.
Tread lightly.
Huge boop off the map.
There is pride before the fall.
Yeah, I mean, this is just Guardian Angel tech. There's not much that flying horizontally here will get you. If Soldier is standing here and rotates over here. Using flash heal above 50%. Yeah, I haven't really seen the flash heal. It's tough to notice the flash heals going off. But that's something to keep in mind too. If you are using flash heal above 50%, it does 3 times the healing if they are below 50%. So just try to keep that in mind too. But yeah, this horizontal Guardian Angel probably would have been better if you just went down under here to force the Soldier to potentially drop or something. Or even... Yeah, you could have definitely... You've used it on him to fly, so you could have just flown with him and moved past through and ended up next to him. But you kind of canceled it.
Meet your fate.
The payload has reached
Nice. We swapped spawns. That's good. Do not pull your pistol out on a hog. What is this? What it? Okay.
Heightening your capabilities.
Heroes never die.
Big flashy on the Reaper. Thought that time. Yeah, if I were you, I would not have res inside a Ram ultimate, but does not seem to matter.
We have company.
Healing stream connected. Hunting them down.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You know, we got points, so whatever, you know? They changed it to now 2 times? Okay. So 2 times ups you to 120. Or 50 times 100. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I guess the good news too with Mercy having being able to flash heal, she now has more options to be aggressive, knowing that she can always flash heal her teammates back up without feeling like, you know, she's wasted healing on them and because of that they're dead. Yeah, this looks like just a win. Nice. Clean up. Easy. Yeah, so things to work on. Things to work on that need rephrasing. I think on Moira, I think a lot of it is we are throwing a lot of heal orbs, but we're not throwing enough damage orbs in my opinion. I think a lot of these heal orbs are going wasted. I think you could also do some Moira damage orb coalescence tech to get yourself high burst. Helps you carry fights easier. And I think on Mercy, the big thing I'm seeing is just when you're using your Valkyrie, try to use that sooner in like a neutral situation. You don't want to necessarily be using it defensively because you get more value from it damage boosting your team than you do healing your team. But yeah, those are the big ones I have. Overall, pretty good. I liked a good amount of the Glock. I think there were some times where we were definitely holding on to the Glock too much and helping our teammates probably would have just carried the fight harder for us. But overall, pretty good. And yeah. So that's it, chat. Thanks everyone for coming out to another Dhon stream. And I will see you guys all in another one. Doodles.